Demons. Written by TheBuriedTruck, narrated by Nigel Hoppingston, and produced and adapted for audio by Peter Rockley. If you should travel to the island of Sodor, you'll hear booming whistles and wheels pounding the rails as the steam engines go about their work. If you listen closely, however, you'll hear a different noise. From a faraway part on the island, the drone of snorting machines and scrapping steel dances in the air. These are the sounds of the Pilgordred Ironworks. Harry and Bert seldom ventured outside the ironworks. The yard is littered with scrap, which they spend their days shunting into the smelter's shed. Lately, there seemed to be more to melt down than ever. The Diesels enjoyed their grim work, but it was evident they needed help. One evening, Harry and Bert were resting when a familiar horn cut through the air. Diesel slunk into the yard, a train of scrap in tow. Well, smirked Harry. If it isn't Mr. Revolutionary himself, come to take the way off our buffers, eh? If I must, grunted Diesel, though I should be out taking work from those rotten steam engines on the main line, not tucked away here. I'll bet, teased Harry. We love to be dazzled by your greatness. Take your train to the outside of the shed, then we'll get started on that. Mind yourself around here, Bert muttered. There have been some strange goings-on lately. Bert was trying to be helpful, but he'd made the big mistake of giving Diesel an inch. Later, Bert was moving trucks into the smelter's shed. Fog had descended on the yard. He had to move slowly. Suddenly, there was a bump, and a line of trucks went rolling past him, with no engine. As they raced into the mist, Diesel appeared, cackling with delight. Are you quite done? Diesel was taken aback. You're meant to be helping us. Don't know why you bothered to come over here. Harry and I could do this ourselves. Diesel fumed without a word. I can't rely on old tricks. I need a new way to scare them, he thought. The echoes of the smelting sheds faded as Diesel ventured further into the sidings. The night wind blew through the frames of the old cars and engines, which sat languishing under years of rust. Filth, muttered Diesel. Perhaps, though, they have some use now. Which one to scare them with? Plenty to choose. Diesel had been so lost in thought, he didn't notice what sat on the end of his line. A huge tender engine. Why don't you watch where you're going, you... Diesel stopped short. The state of the engine's decay hit him all at once. Its side rods had been ripped off, and patches of corrosion riddled the boiler. And though the smoke box door was missing, it seemed to be staring at him. Silly me, chuckled Diesel. Imagine getting spooked by this old wreck. That's when it hit him. Spooked? Yes, it's perfect. This will get them, to be sure. Slowly, Diesel pushed the hulking mass out of the siding. It creaked and rocked along the rails, as if it might collapse at a moment's notice. But Diesel didn't care. He was too eager to spook the twins. Let's see them keep their nerve up when this comes creeping up behind them. It was a good trick, and it certainly would have given a great scare. If only it worked. Diesel slowed down, but the engine didn't. Its old coupling snapped, and any brakes it once had were long since disintegrated. Diesel watched in horror. It shot past Harry and Bert, disappeared into the shed, and all was silent, but not for long. The foreman came stomping and cursing out of the shed. "What the devil do you think you're playing at?" he shouted at Diesel. "I've half a mind to drag you in here and scrap you myself for that little stunt." Diesel went pale. "You take that iron beast back where you found it this instant, and you can stay with it unless you plan on smartening up." Speechless, Diesel rolled into the shed. The engine was still, its front nestled against the buffers at the end of the line. The red glow of the molten steel flashed across its old boiler. "My sleep." Diesel froze. "Who's there?" "Disturbed my sleep." Yes, very funny, you two. Truly terrifying. Oh, Diesel groaned. But when he looked back, Harry and Bert were nowhere to be seen. It was just him and the engine. With more care than he usually took, Diesel pulled the engine from the shed and set off towards the old sidings. As Diesel pushed the old hulk back to where he found it, the fog grew thicker and brought an eerie stillness. The yard lights began to flicker. Diesel glanced around. He thought he could see pale fireflies dancing in the night. Suddenly, the lights cut out. The fireflies grew brighter, revealing dark shapes behind them. Diesel squinted, and that's when it hit him. They weren't fireflies. They were eyes, peering out from the remains of the twisted engine's past. "You disturbed my sleep!" Thump went the engine against the old buffers, and the lights came on again. Diesel jumped, and a face appeared on the engine where it hadn't been before. It was gaunt and grimacing, its eyes narrowed in anger. "Ah!" shrieked Diesel, and he raced away as fast as he could. Whilst the engine and the other spectral friends disappearing into the mist. "Where have you been?" demanded Harry when Diesel returned. "Trying to leave us the work for us, eh?" "Yes, I'm sorry," stammered Diesel. "I'll get right to work." For the rest of the night, Diesel didn't say a word. He worked without fuss, gave the twins a run for their money. Even the foreman was impressed. All the while, he kept looking back towards the sidings, just to make sure he wasn't being followed or haunted. When the work was done, he wanted to go home. "No chance tonight, old fellow," said his driver. "With fog like this, you'll never make it back." Reluctantly, Diesel backed down to the shed next to Bert. "Yep, strange things happen around here." "Yes, very strange things." The twins fell asleep, but Diesel was still awake. It must have been all the fog. Yes, that's it. He thought, "That's the last time I let those Ironworks imbeciles fool me." I'll bet it was their doing. Let them wait. I'll get them one of these days. And with that, Diesel fell asleep, having assured himself that the old engine and his ghostly companions all in his head. Or were they?